Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. It's your boy Max, I'm the host of this channel, and a big welcome to all who are viewing, a big thank you to my patrons, and a reminder to my new viewers to give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Andy Farrell, the Irish head coach, has named the final Six Nations squad of them all for the 2023 edition of the tournament, with Johnny Sexton coming back to be his captain. There's a lot of very good picks in this side, so we're going to go through them one by one to kind of see where the squad's at. Over at the props, Finlay Beelham's a good pick. He's made the most of being able to play on both sides of the scrum as of late, and has become very well known for his impact play. Tyg Furlong, I named him at number 3 for my World 15 of 2022. I believe he is one of the best rugby players in the world and one of the best Irish players of all time. You can never go without him. Cian Healy looks to extend his record as Ireland's most capped ever prop this Six Nations. He's been around for a very long time and has loved nothing more than giving back to his country with his experience. Dave Kilcoyne, another player who I think has probably got a bit too few experience for a guy of his age, is still in the squad because I think it's probably a bit too late in a World Cup cycle to give away too many debuts. Tom O'Toole's in there as well. I've liked the look of him. He's been playing well recently. And rounding it all out is Andrew Porter, who I had at jersey 17 for my World 15 of 2022. Porter is an absolute rock. He took a wee while to get placed as a regular starter for the Irish team, and he was like, you know what, if I have to go from tight head to loose head, so be it. It's paid off for him big time. The hookers. We are finally going to get to see who is indeed the first choice player. We all know that Rob Herring, a very experienced bloke, isn't at the third choice. He was the first choice over in 2020. 2021 it was Ronan Kelleher's turn, and 2022 it was Dan Sheehan's turn. Kelleher's had a bit of injury, even though he was invited to train with the British and Irish Lions despite not being in the team, while Sheehan absolutely exploded to life in 2022. The locks, they've just gone with 4 of them as they're trusting Cian Prendergast to give them a bit of cover. Tyg Byrne, Ian Henderson, Joe McCarthy and James Ryan are the picks. Ryan's been a little bit out of form in the last few years, so I would like to see Byrne and Henderson in as the starters. Byrne was on the bench for my World 15 in 2022, and Ian Henderson, an incredibly experienced player who I've enjoyed watching for a very long time, is always rock solid in the line-out and can be relied upon when it comes to the carrying. I'm impressed with him. Fingers crossed McCarthy can get enough game time, as with 3 guys like that, it's going to be very difficult to come by. Hopefully the English will be a good testing ground for him, as England aren't going to do very well at all. The back row though, as I mentioned, Cian Prendergast is in there. He's a very good player. I'm hoping he's going to get a good amount of game time. Ryan Beard as well. I've liked the look of him as of late. He's definitely deserving of a place in the team. Jack Conan, I've not been like his biggest sycophant. I'm on record with my opinions on him, but I think that Caelan Doris does a better job at the roles that Jack Conan has become well known for. I'd like to see Doris get a lot of game time in at number 8 because I think he is their boy for the World Cup in that position. Gavin Coombs, I don't know a ridiculous amount about him. I just do know he is very good. Hopefully he's going to get a bit of an opportunity to shine as well. Peter O'Mahony, I thought he was going to be the guy that would be Andy Farrell's captain, but Johnny Sexton, of course, prolonged his career for another 4 to get it to another World Cup. O'Mahony's probably going to be in at 6 as Josh van der Fleer rounds it all out. He was World Rugby Player of the Year, so I think it's pretty obvious he's going to be starting at 7 for the Irish. He wins lots of turnovers, so you can't look past him. Now, we go into the backs. Craig Casey, good dude, had a photo with him when Ireland toured New Zealand. He's a nice bloke for a third choice. Like, he's going to get a lot of game time in the future, so it's very good to have him in behind Gibson Park and Murray so he can learn off 2 of the greats of Irish rugby. Gibson Park, man, I've said it so many times, he was absolutely robbed of an All Black cap. I gave him jersey 21 in my World 15 for very good reasons, because that man is a bullet pass and phenomenal game management. Conor Murray Gary isn't quite exactly the player he once was. He's kind of gone a bit downhill since the last Lions tour, but I do think it's worth keeping him around due to his long-term combination in favour with Johnny Sexton. Those two know each other like the back of their hand, so keep them together. In at number 10, Jack Crowley and Ross Byrne have been trusted to back up Johnny Sexton, so are they starting to rely on the captain a little bit too much? I really don't see Byrne getting a lot of game time. I don't see Crowley getting a lot of game time either. Fingers crossed when I come to do my 10 depth chart, Sexton does not have over 80% of it, because that right there, that would be terrifying. Over to the midfield, Bundy Aki. This dude is very explosive, and in a backline full of kickers, you do need someone to offer a little bit of difference. Aki's the key to that. He's probably not the player he once was. He's getting on a bit, but he's still in fine form, and is a very reliable defensive option as well. Stuart McCloskey, probably going to end up being the guy who gets trusted to be the 4th World Cup midfielder. Maybe James Hume could beat him to it, but McCloskey, I think, is probably the safer bet in the eyes of Andy Farrell. James Osborne in its centre. With Robbie Henshaw injured, he's going to get an opportunity. Fingers crossed things can go well for him. Gary Ringrose, well, safe to say that's going to be the number 13, over to the outside backs. Keith Earls is still going. He made his Test debut in the 2000s, and in the 2020s, he is still going as an outside back. Absolutely incredible stuff. He's got seconds to most ever tries for the country, and fingers crossed he'll be able to get his career tally to 40 by the end of the season, though I don't think it will because his try scoring rate has dipped a little bit. Mac Hansen, how amazing is he to watch? Very glad to see him in there. I gave him the jersey 23 for my World 15 in 2022, and I thought he was the deserved winner of Breakthrough Player of the Year. Unfortunately though, it went to Ange Coppawozzo of Italy. Man oh man, Hansen was robbed, and you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say he is the best Australian rugby player in the world. Hugo Keenan, undisputedly the best fullback in the country. Not as highly rated by me as he is by others, but still a fine player who can also come up out of his back roll and become a crash ball runner. Very lethal kicking game as well. Many do say he's the best fullback in the world. I'm going to disagree with that, but I'm happy to see him as the first choice fullback. Jordan Lama, he was a wonder kid many moons ago, who I was glad didn't start at 15 over Rob Kearney, and he kind of hasn't really had as much of the action as of late because of injuries and stuff like that. Fingers crossed he'll be able to get himself a bit of a redemption arc. James Lowe, some people say he was robbed of an All Black cap. I disagree. But Lowe, I'll tell you what, he has improved on his defence a wee bit for an older winger, so credit to him where it's due. Jimmy O'Brien, I'm kind of a bit not sure about this one because he plays both centre and he plays fullback, so maybe he's going to be the answer at jersey 23 for the World Cup. He did everything right in his Test debut against South Africa. Every time I've watched him play a Test since, he's looked good, so I'm hoping he gets a few more opportunities this time around. And Jacob Stockdale, a figure of Irish rugby folklore, he is back in the team as well, after playing a bit of rugby with Ireland A against teams such as the All Blacks 15. Stockdale has lost a lot of form since his early days, but fingers crossed that one day, maybe even recently, he could recapture it. That would honestly be so amazing to see him return to his best. That's all I've got to say for this video, guys. I'm very impressed with the Irish squad, absolutely. I'm just gonna get my fingers crossed, man, that they do not repeat the mistakes of 2019, and I hope they keep improving after the mistakes they learned. I want to see them build on 2022, not just regress like how they did from 2018 to 2019. I have absolute faith in Andy Farrell that they can do that though. He is a smart coach. They have got an on-field coach as their captain, and of course they have the world's best attack coach in the form of Mike Catt. I'm wishing these guys the very best for the Six Nations, and it is really going to come down to the wire between them and France. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been my pleasure. It's your boy Max. I'm signing out. Cheers.